But what I have right now to unbox with you is, for many people, many comics collectors, a love-hate thing. You either love this series or you hate it. I don't know too many in-betweens, and if you have an in-between opinion.
I'll show you with the box. What was in the box?
Hello everybody, coming to you today with another comic book unboxing video. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a shorter one, but and we on this channel so far this is the second video, and this second unboxing that we're doing. This won't be all that we do on this channel. We'll be discussing a bunch of other things, so I just want to say that first, even though yeah, we still have some more unboxing videos coming up, and I hope you enjoy these just as much, but we'll have some other different kinds of comic book video goodies, not just reviews either, even though we'll be doing those and discussing, issues of old books, new books. And we'll also have, like drawing, where, because I'm actually an artist and illustrator, so, I'll have videos of me drawing and things along those lines. We'll be, doing discussions and just a lot of different kinds of content, I guess is my point. And different software to use, and marketing and strategies to get your comic out there, and working with independent comics and that sort of thing. So, but for now, let's get to the comics that we're unboxing today, which I'm sure some of you may have heard about, and if you haven't, check it out. But what I have right now to unbox with you is, for many people, many comics collectors, a love-hate thing. You either love this series or you hate it. I don't know too many in-betweens, and if you have an in-between opinion, instead of love or hate, let us know in the comments below. And keep watching to see what other books show up in this unboxing. Alright, so anyway, back to Gen 13. Some individuals think that this series isn't that great, though it was wildly popular when it first launched. It was very much a product of the 1990s. I mean, Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, it said they were looking for something different than their other Image and Homage Studios books. They wanted something fun that connected to younger readers, which J. Scott Campbell contributed to as well, once he was brought onto the project, that is. It's full of teenage angst and rebellion themes, but overall is a straightforward superhero sci-fi story. On the surface, it may not look like much, but the teens are drafted into a top-secret government project under the guise of a collegiate academy type of deal. Once there, they each start discovering the true nature of what they've been tricked into, which results in their being pushed beyond their limits to see if they manifest abilities that they genetically inherited from their fathers, who were experimented on, part of a group known as Team 7. And while the main story was a bit generic, it's how it was executed and presented that had its own charm and appeal. Sure, there were injections of hormones and sexuality to lure particular types of readers, though that wasn't all the series was initially about. That's not all it had to offer. At least that's my opinion. I mean, let me know in the comments if you disagree, or, if you agree, or what your opinion might be, like, in general. I'm interested to know what you have to say. But early on in Volume 2, past its debut miniseries, it was just fun and entertaining at first. I mean, it was largely grounded in superhero and teen tropes, yet it was grounded in a style. And this was the artist J. Scott Campbell's breakout work. And once the second volume rolled around, you could see him get more comfortable with the characters and more fully form his signature style. And now to reveal the other kind of book that'll be discussed somewhat, or at least touched on, here in this video, and that's the 10th. Yes. Gen 13 and the 10th. They're some of my favorite Image titles, to be honest. And let me know if you heard about the 10th in the comments. Feel free to see if you, I don't know if maybe you read the miniseries, the later issues, or neither. Let me know. There's a collected edition as well, but it was just another fun book, at least early on, before things got a little crazy toward the end, and then it just became a series of mini-series. But I'll touch more on this once I finish talking about the Gen 13 books. But I do love the 10th. I love the art. Tony Daniel's a great artist. But yeah, back to Gen 13 for the moment. The stories, as I said, were fun, but I think the ongoing series started to suffer from doing too much too fast with the stories. The series was obviously, it was inspired by basically the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And in that, the kids were taken through stories similar to what the sets that Jim Lee would pencil on his Uncanny X-Men run. Like when there was the Gen 13 kids, for example, early on, like in the very first of the ongoing series, they end up going to the jungle more than once, actually, for a few issues. They do like this pirate adventure, but it leads to basically the jungle, which equates to Savage Land and the X-Men. Then they were thrown into space, a lot like Jim Lee's run on the X-Men in space with the Shi'ar and that sort of thing. And then after that, they returned from space to find themselves in like a Days of Future Past dystopian future where they had to find their way back to their own time to prevent, everything that's going to happen. And that was mostly all back to back, like they were just throwing in their version of the X-Men hits. Like they were just playing those hits and, I don't know. But some of my fave stories were the early ones. Some of the ones that were sprinkled between rushing from one type of story arc to another, like the ones I just mentioned. When the kids, for example, fought... Okay, so their leader is named John Lynch, and he's an older gentleman. And there's Pitt. He's been in so many crossovers. He was in Gen 13 here as well for a little bit in this issue. But anyway, John Lynch, and he's an older gentleman. He has lots of experience with Team 7. He was a part of Team 7, actually, and that sort of thing. So one of the villains that he used to know came around trying to, bring the kids back because there was different government groups. And so there's one government group that's trying to get all the Gen active people, which is what people with the superpowers are called in this series. They're called Gen active. And just show you a little 10th again. I really like these books, but we'll get to that. But anyway, like the kids fought John Lynch's old foe, Helmet. That was just really fun and cool the way they teamed up to take him down. It was like a one-issue kind of thing, and it was just fun, this one right here, basically. And then he comes back later on, but in this particular issue, it was just a really great, fun issue. It has a flip cover as well, and also some collector's cards. But I don't want to say too much here. But it was just really fun. I liked that initial story also of Roxy going to a dance club and stumbling upon a creature that's being pursued by other dimensional mercenaries. It was just delivered in a fun and visually appealing way. Sure, there were contrivances and things, but it was just plain fun. And when the main characters were being themselves, trying to have a life of their own, outside of superheroics, I feel that's pretty much where Gen 13 shined. And then it went through, several other volumes and versions of the series that, to me, just really didn't hit or land. There was more realistic takes, because this early version that I like has more of these fantastical kind of elements to them, and they're just designed to be fun. I don't know how else to put it. But in other ones, they get too serious and too gritty and that sort of thing, and it just changes everything. And then there was just too many spin-offs and series. But I do like the early version of Gen 13. And some of the stories, even when, overall it started kind of, in my opinion, lacking. But yeah, I do really like this series, and I'm very interested to know how much of you guys do like this series. I know there'll be some haters out there, but I welcome those comments too, and let me know why. Not just that you don't like it, but let me know why or whatever. But the characters were just so perfect for these kinds of stories too, and the characters were great themselves, even though some of them were very much representative of X-Men and Fantastic Four. But yeah, let's talk about Backlash at some point too. I think I'm going to wrap it up for right now. We'll come back to the 10th. Because I have more to say about that. But yeah, just let us know in the comments what you think about Gen 13, any of the series, whether it be the other volumes, the spin-offs, the main series, the mini-series, and also just let us know what you think about the 10th. But that'll be a whole different video, because I have a lot more to say about that, as I stated. But I hope you enjoyed this. This is a relatively new channel. We'll have different kinds of videos on the way coming up. I really appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and especially to the end if you watched all the way this far, all the way through. But for now, this has been ALT+SHIFT+NERD signing out.